Hey everybody, Ben here from the Bonehead podcast, and welcome to Death Zone Mercenaries. So we're looking at the new Blood Bowl expansion, Death Zone, and we're going through the Mercenaries inside it. There's an absolute ton of additional inducements and a ton of cool extra rules for Blood Bowl, but what we're looking at are the Mercenaries, which are brand new, and they kind of have modularity to them where you can build your own star players. So they're available in leagues potentially and maybe some tournaments, but we are going to have a look at the 5 different types. Now yesterday we did the Bonafide big guy, and now we're going to look at their counterpart, the Stunty superstar. So you can take 0 to 3 mercenaries, and 0 to 2 of them can be Stunty superstars. And when you build it, you start off with the Stunty, and you can add skills, you can add stats, and you can add special traits. So we're going to go through now and break down the Stunty superstar. Let's have a look at the basic Stunty superstar. So like I said, you can get 0 to 2 on your team, and for 30k they come at movement 5, strength 2, agility 3+, passing 4+, which isn't bad, armor 6+, which is bad, and dodge, loner 4+, right stuff, and stunty. So 30k you get a halfling with loner 4+. For 30k. Now as a standard inducement, and this is available to every team, as a standard inducement, just being able to take an extra player for 30k is going to be really useful sometimes. If you are down, if you are playing a team, if you've only got 11 players on your team, honestly, just being able to take that Stunty to have one more player, you can even just get 2 of them for 60k and chuck them on the line and just leave them there to die. Now, as a Skaven coach, I actually think that's a genius idea. 60k inducement, even a 30k inducement, it's cheaper than a keg. However, when it comes to building your mercenaries, you must take at least one upgrade from the 3 choices. So let's have a look at the first ones. So like I said, you have to take one upgrade, whether it's a trait, a skill, or a stat adjustment. So we'll start with skills. So agility, general, passing, and mutation. So you can take 1 or 2 or more agility skills on this superstar. Now the first skill, if you're only taking 1 agility skill, it is just 10k. So if you wanted to put sprint or sidestep or catch on this halfling or jump up, it would cost you 40k. If you wanted to add 2 agility skills, so sprint and sure feet for example, that would cost you 40k. So actually we go up to 70. So 1 skill is cheap, 2 skills or more is expensive. Actually, you know what, that's still not bad. 40k for a sidestep halfling is fine, or a jump up halfling is alright. Now you can chuck a general skill on this guy for 40k, but it can't be dirty player. You can chuck a passing skill on this player for 20k. Alright, now listen, here's a cunning little plan here. Take the halfling for 30k, take a passing skill for 20k, and make that leader. You've got a 50k induced reroll that comes with a body that you can chuck on the line if you are done with a cunning plan there. You can also take a mutation skill for 30k instead. So 2 heads, anybody? You can take a 2 heads halfling for 60k. With loner 4+, sure, but 2 heads halfling, that's 2+ dodges everywhere with dodge. Movement 5, that's pretty fun. This is where it gets interesting, because you can start building this kind of mini superstar for your league, for your team. Stats, you can even boost the stats. 1 extra movement is 30k, 1 extra agility is plus 40k, 1 extra passing down to passing 3+ is 30k, and 1 extra armor is 30k as well. Any characteristic may be reduced by 1 for minus 10k to a minimum of 30 gold, 30,000. So your player can't ever cost less than 30k, but you can reduce a stat to add it in. So if you wanted to take the passing skill and give him leader, you could then take 2 passing stats off him to reduce it back down to 30k. 30k for a leader reroll that comes on a strength 2 body. Now we're getting into the realms of very creative inducements, and colour me interested. So I'm going to have to check the rules here. Any Stunty superstar may improve or reduce any characteristic by up to 2 as follows. So it may be that actually you can stack, and I think as it stands you can in fact stack these potentially. So you can make yourself a movement 7 little dodgy guy, but it's going to cost you 90k total. Anyway, you get a huge menu. You've got to take at least one of these, and minusing a passing stat for example, or movement if you just wanted to stand still, is going to get you a lot of flexibility when it comes to cost. But the traits are where it gets really, really interesting here. So you get to choose a trait package. You don't have to, but you can. So in addition, a Stunty superstar may exchange their Right Stuff trait for a single package of upgrades from this list. Now that means I think I've done all of them wrong, so that's fine. We'll ignore the Right Stuff bit. So the Stunty superstars, you can go to Loner 5+ for plus 50k, get Dirty Player +1 and Sneaky Git. That takes your guy to 80k. You can take Dirty Player +2 and Sneaky Git, Loner 5+ again, for 80k. That takes you to 110k. Bombardier Secret Weapon for plus 40k, 70k for a Bombardier. Stab Secret Weapon for 20k, 50k Stabber, less useful, but you know. Pogo Stick at plus 50k as well, so 80k for a Halfling on a Pogo Stick. Or Ball and Chain, no hands, Secret Weapon, +3 Strength, -2 movement, and you lose dodge for 60k. So for 90k you get a movement 3, strength 5 Ball and Chain. For 90k. Not quite the Fungus the Loon that we're used to, but still not bad. I mean, strength 5 is going to get you 2 dice on most players. Or you can take plus 40k for a 70k Halfling with a Chainsaw. No dodge, but Chainsaw, no hands, and Secret Weapon. Now, because the trait packages are the most expensive and influential way to adjust the Stunty Mercenary, what we're going to do is we're going to go through each of the trait packages and treat it as a kind of starting spot. Now, you've got the general Stunty player, which is 30k for a Halfling with Loner 4+, and you can add and subtract things as you like. But the traits kind of change up what their core purpose is. So I do recommend when looking at the Mercenaries, just ignoring everything, looking at this, the core Mercenary and the different versions that come out from taking a trait package and then working your way back from there. So we've got 7 to go through. The Dirty Player +1 version comes in at 80k for a Halfling with Dirty Player +1 and Sneaky Git. So 80k for a +1 to foul and doesn't get sent off very often. That is pretty decent. Now that can be taken by Badland teams, Favoured of teams, Halfling Thumble Cup, Lustrian teams, Old World teams, and Underworld Cup teams. So it can be taken by almost every team out there. And you've got the Dirty Player +2 version, 110k now. 5/2, 3+, 4+, 6+, Dodge Loner 5+, Stunty Dirty Player +2, Dirty Player +2. So this can only be taken by Badlands and Halfling Thimble Cup teams. So don't worry, the teams that tend to have a ton of guard are unlikely to be able to take this player, with the exception of Black Orcs. Now I think the Black Orc team develops best when these little guys get a lot of guard, because you've got goblins and you've got half-price bribes. Half-price bribes mixed with Dirty Player +2 and guard is just begging for a really good stomping. So if you find yourself 110k down, 160k down, bribe, Dirty Player +2 dude, running around Sneaky Git stomping on people's faces is going to be really good. But this is where the fun begins. So the Bomber archetype comes in at 70k, 5/2, 3+, 4+, 6+, Dodge, Loner 4+, Stunty, Bombardier, and Secret Weapon. So Badlands, Halfling, Old World, Underworld, and World's Edge here. So you can take a Halfling Bombardier on a Dwarf team for 70k. Passing 4+, guys. Passing 4+ Bombardier. But that's not all. That's not all, because you can do clever things with stats. So if you wanted to give this bomber, if you wanted to give the bomber a, for example, Hail Mary pass, how many points would it be? Passing skill, 20k. 20,000. 90k for a Halfling Bombardier with Hail Mary pass. And because Hail Mary pass just straight up 2+s it, you can save a bit of cash by reducing that passing stat down to 6+ if you wanted to. That's always a balancing point there. But anyway, a cheeky bomber for 70k is great fun. Or you can just stab stuff for 50k. So 5/2, 3+, 4+, 6+, Dodge, Loner 4+, Stunty, Stab, Secret Weapon. Get rid of 2 passing stats, drop it 20k, 30k for a Secret Weapon Stabber. It's awesome. It's a terrible idea. It's a legitimately terrible idea. But you can combo it up as well. For example, you could chuck Frenzy. Now, Frenzy's not great when it comes to stab. Ooh, can you take multiple block? You can't take multiple block. Ah, they've sussed it out. Anyway, 30k to 50k for a stab secret weapon dude is a really cheap little secret weapon inducement and can be really good fun if you're just down against a team and actually for the sake of 30k running out a halfling that you can just deploy on the line, which is going to save your guy, and just have a crack at stabbing somebody. That's a bargain. Or you can give him a pogo stick. 80,000 here. Movement 5, strength 2, edge 3+, passing 4+, armor 6+, dodge, loner 4+, stunty, pogo stick. So, pogo stick allows you to leap anywhere forever on your agility roll as natural. So 3+ leap anywhere here with the pogo. Let's see, there's a couple of tweaks that we could potentially do. +1 agility is 40k, so you can give him edge 2+ for 120, then you can drop 2 points of passing, drop him down to 100k. So 100k for an edge 2+ pogo halfling is where you're sitting there. And you can add movement for 30k apiece even. So 160k for a movement 7 agility 2+ halfling on a pogo stick. This is fun. But wait, there's more. Ball and chain. You can give your little stunty dude a ball and chain. It drops their movement down to 3, boosts their strength up to 5. They still got edge 3+, still got passing 4+, no hands, so not going to be doing either of that. And armor 6+, loner 4+, stunty, ball and chain, no hands, secret weapon. So flying around, strength 5 with movement 3. 90k for that. Drop the 2 passing down to 70k, and you can buy an extra movement for basically 100k for a movement 4, strength 5, ball and chain. Again, it's a bargain, but your starting point, 90k for a strength 5 ball and chain here as an inducement. It is not the star players of old, but it starts, and it's quite interesting. So Badlands can take it, Favoured can take it, Halfling can take it, and Underworld teams can take it. So that is a very goblin maneuver. And last but by no means least, you've got the Chainsaw Archetype. 70,000 for a Halfling with a Chainsaw, loner 4+, stunty Chainsaw, no hands, secret weapon. We haven't adjusted the passing stat. You drop 2 passing down to 50k. 50k for a star player. Stunty with a chainsaw. It's movement 5, so it's not quite as good as a goblin chainsaw, but come on, 50k for that chainsaw. Now, because agility skills are 10k, you can take dodge for 10k. Now, you can't actually... you lose stunty dodging rights with the chainsaw. You still gain dodge, so actually taking dodge might not be bad for a bargain of 10k here. So if we say drop 20 for passing, add 10 for agility, 60k for a dodging chainsaw halfling. Okay, so now we've looked at the archetypes, this menu starts to make more sense because you can start piecing those players together as you go to design your star player stunty superstar mercenary from Death Zone. +1 agility skill for 10k, dodge, whatever, sidestep, whatever. You're starting at 30k here for a player. You have to add something or change something. Add 1 agility, take 1 passing away, you got a 30k minion to go on the line. I'm a huge fan of taking leader for 20k and dropping the passing stat just to keep him at 30k for a leader reroll. I actually don't mind the idea of just taking a sidestep, reducing pass to get them down to 30k and just chucking 2 of them on the line to stop you from getting murdered. They're going to die, but I'd rather they died than my Skaven linemen, than my wood elves, you know? This is cheap stuff. We are absolutely lacking in the world for low cost inducements. How many times you played a game and you're like, oh, I've got 80k, what can I do? I can take a keg. That's disappointing. We've just seen like 7 different types of chainsaw player for that value now, or a bombardier. Or you know what, you may be able to kill their stats so much that they are just movement 2 Hail Mary pass bombardiers. That won't work, but movement 3 Hail Mary pass bombardier could be pretty decent. And you know what, you might be able to take 2 of them for about the same price as a bribe. These rules can be tweaked, and as gamers we are honor bound to find ways to make this overpowered. But we've looked at the archetypes. Now this menu makes more sense because you've got cost reduction here and you can focus on just making them better at what you want them to do. Having the halfling stat line isn't great, but because they are a bit slow, but you're using them as a cheap fowler, you're using them as a secret weapon, and movement isn't really that useful. When it comes to the pogo, chucking movement on that guy is going to be pretty sweet because you can make a heck of a combination there. I love this. And I think that just about wraps up the Stunty Superstar Mercenary from Death Zone. I can't believe that we are in the world where Games Workshop have given us rules to create our star players. Now, when it comes to running them in a league or a tournament, I do recommend working as a league to create a selection of these players rather than that you create a new one every single game. It is laborious. The maths is it's simple enough, but when you're sat down for a game and you're like, my TV's this, your TV's this, how many inducements have I got? I've got 170k. Cool. Why don't you get a cup of tea and a cake and bake a cake while I design my player? It seems a bit laborious. What I do recommend is coming together at the beginning of a league or throughout a league and go, oh guys, can we add this player to the free agents list? And then the whole league can just hire that guy. And also you get a cool narrative aspect there. You might be able to create Fungus the Loon on this roster and have him be there, and his cost may be skyrocketed, sure, but you get access and you get a way to bring back some stunty players of old until we get the star player supplement, which I would bet money is coming. Anyway guys, I'm going to wrap up this video and we'll be back soon with more Blood Bowl content. Happy blocking. Thanks very much for watching. We really appreciate your support. If you want to support the show even further, please like and subscribe. It really helps us out. Or come and join us in our Patreon, link below, where you get early access to our content and monthly competitions. See you later.